Hi, welcome to our presentation on using Pluralsight within our classroom. So this is part of a grant we worked on this summer to improve the online courses in our program. We are specifically tackling 4 different courses where each member of the grant, so myself, Ugo, Valle, Mari Mack, and Yang Zhang, each took a slightly different approach to how we wanted to integrate the Pluralsight content into our courses. But then we came together and talked about different ideas and worked on the project jointly. You'll see throughout our presentation that using that approach, we came up with a variety of ways to integrate the content into our course or into our courses. You'll also see that the courses that we cover cover a wide variety in our program, everything from the introductory, very first programming course that a student takes, all the way up to our capstone level courses. Most people in the university probably don't have a Pluralsight license. We have Pluralsight licenses for all of our School of Computing faculty and students. But this, what we've learned can still apply to others. Right? You could create similar uses of online videos, just instead of using Pluralsight, you use a different video instruction medium, whether those are YouTube videos or LinkedIn Learning or some other platform. But this project is specific to leveraging Pluralsight videos in our School of Computing courses. So with that, we'll each take a turn describing what we did in integrating the content into our courses, and we'll let Ugo Valle get us started.
Hi. So as Kyle mentioned, we all took a little different approach in how to use this content from Pluralsight into our courses. For the one that I targeted over the summer was for our second programming course, which is in C++. Just a little bit of background. Our first programming class, we usually offer that in Java. And then we start teaching different programming concepts in this second programming class. Some of the students, because we switched the programming language, struggle a little bit just overcoming and learning the new syntax. So my idea behind creating some support materials for the students was creating a series of different channels for the students. This is basically just to have something else, an extra resource. Also, I was thinking about using this for whenever a student needs a little bit extra remediation work. So the way I organized this was by basically modules, 7 different modules or 8 modules that we have that cover the main objectives of the course. And when a student needs to do some extra work or review some of the materials, they can just basically click into one. For example, this says CS 1410, which is our second programming course. And there's one particular module that deals directly with the concept of indirection and inheritance. So what we're doing here is they will go click into the specific course that will take them just to that part of the course that deals with this topic. And similarly, when we go back to the channels, I created different channels, narrowing the topics that they go about. These particular channels, I create them at the company level, in this case, our Department of Computing. So anyone, not just online students, any professor who is teaching a course in 1410 could use this material to be incorporated into their work. Thank you.
Right, for my part of this project, I created 3 separate Pluralsight channels with specific content for each course. I created one for our CS Flex course for the fundamentals of programming, which is our introductory course to programming. And then I created 2 other channels for CS 1400 and CS 2550. And I'm teaching both of those this semester in the WSU Flex format. And so this content is part of the online content that's being delivered for those courses. So a little bit more about each of those. in the CS Flex course, I'm using this as a secondary resource, more of support for students that may need to have some extra time with certain topics. And so in our CS Flex program, they are allowed to retake the midterm. And so this is a completely online program. And so Pluralsight is being used here to do a review of the concepts if a retake is necessary. And so they get to go, and I can link out here and kind of show you. So they just have certain topics that they have to go through before they can go retake that test. And over here. In my other two courses, I'm really utilizing it every week, and it's a primary resource. And so it's used to support our online lectures and as part of the lectures. And it's a required assignment each week. And so I really wanted to see how students liked it. In my CS 1400 course, I don't have an assigned textbook. And so this kind of takes that spot. And so they hand this in for points, and then they can actually personalize their learning and go beyond what's just included in the channel. So there's a wide range of students in these introductory courses, I've noticed. And I have very beginning students that just need to go over it one more time. But I also have students that have been programming for multiple years. And what this does for them is it opens up even more learning that they can do and move beyond just what is offered, you know, at that introductory level. So I really, really like that. And I know students have already been mentioning that they've used it not just for this course, but other courses, and they've learned some extra things that they, you know, wouldn't have learned without Pluralsight. So I'm really excited about that. And then the other thing that I really love about using it this way is that there's some interactive courses on Pluralsight. And so what I mean by that is that they actually get to watch a video, but then they actually get to do some coding along with that. And so that's what this is just an example of that interactive content. And so you can see the video, the slides are down here. They get a challenge to do within this, and then they have to actually perform some or create some code over here and then hit submit, and it grades it for them and helps them out along the way. So I really love that about Pluralsight, that they have these interactive courses as well as just the video content. And that's all. Thank you.
For my piece of the project, I integrated Pluralsight content into the CS 2420 course, which is our data structures and algorithms course. For those not familiar with our program, this is sort of one of the key courses that students take before moving on to their upper division courses. So it's a prereq for many of our courses after this that follow. And like Ugo is mentioning, it's taught in C++, so it relies heavily on their knowledge coming out of 1410. And like Maru is mentioning, this is also taught as a CS Flex course, which means that they have to achieve a certain level of mastery before they can move on to the next module. And so that's how I've primarily chosen to use Pluralsight, is as a additional resource when they are struggling to achieve that mastery. So I've set up channels with specific videos to each exam, and if they struggle on an exam, I can refer them to the channel related to that exam, and I have it set up so that I also give them feedback on the exam of, pay particular attention to these topics as you're, going through the Pluralsight content. The other thing that I did when I was creating these exam reviews was that I realized there was a lot of good content here on Pluralsight, specifically related to C++ and related to data structures and algorithms. And I didn't want students to miss out on that content just because they did well on the exam. So I also created an additional channel that has all of the content from the exam reviews available here. So they don't have to wait till they don't pass the exam to get this Pluralsight content. It's also available in this extra content channel. And to make that available to students, I just put a link in my Canvas course. And under the course overview, I talked about the different resources they have available. And I linked that Pluralsight channel right in. And so they can click right on it. They can get access to the content and pick out the videos that make sense to them that they need a little additional help on. And so that's how I've chosen to integrate Pluralsight into my course.
In this project, I have created a Pluralsight channel for my Java application development course in fall 2020. This course is one of the 3 capstone computer science courses. The course is programming intensive and concentrates on designing and implementing multi-tier and web applications based on the Java Enterprise Edition specifications. Topics include Java Beans, Java database connectivity, client-server interactions, servlets, session tracking, Java server pages, Java server faces, Spring Framework, the model view controller approach, remote method invocation, enterprise Java Beans, application servers, front-end framework, and microservice architecture. This course is designated as a community-engaged learning course in an effort to provide students real-world applications of Java application development and to engage students more fully in a community as citizens. The students will have opportunities to engage in Java development projects based on the needs of a community partner. Students will work in groups to design and implement a web-based Java application intended for an enterprise environment. The CS4230 channel on Pluralsight collects all the necessary resources and skills needed to participate in the term project. It includes 7 sections that cover 27 topics, including HTTP fundamentals, programming environment setup, servlet and GSP, design models, logging, JDBC, Spring Framework, microservice, and front-end framework. Each topic includes 1 or more quality instructional videos. I have carefully identified and reviewed 14 topics offered through Pluralsight that fit within the course. In addition, I have created 15 customized topics myself to be included as supplementary materials to cover those missing in Pluralsight. Students may choose the topics that fit their needs and background when they work on the project. In addition, students have the ability to search for more topics offered by Pluralsight if needed. And the new topics can be added to the channel and shared by the entire course. Currently, the channel is being used and evaluated as the major instructional materials in CS4230 class in fall 2020.